This is your Barbados Today morning news update for Tuesday, November the 20th. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. Topping the news at this hour, representatives of local vendors are threatening increased action if the ongoing saga between administration of the Grantley Adams Memorial School and the vendors who operate outside of the school is not resolved in favor of the vendors. So says President of the Barbados Association of Retailers, Vendors and Entrepreneurs, Barvin, Alistair Alexander.
Barvin is clear. We will fight. We will fight. We will escalate this if necessary. This here now begin. This has now begun as far as Barvin is concerned. So we hope that this is the end. And it can only end, the only end that Barvin accepts is that it ends in the favor of the vendors.
Alexander told reporters outside the school compound yesterday that he would be appealing to Prime Minister Mayor Motley for an intervention on behalf of the vendors.
We are confident, though, that this administration under Mayor Motley, the Honorable Mayor Motley, will bring not only this particular issue within vending to a conclusion, but that the whole issue, the fuller issue. We believe that she will bring a progressive resolution to the whole issue. We are confident of that because she has played a champion role in the past.
Meanwhile, Acting Minister of Education Senator Lucille Moore says her ministry's main concern is for the safety and security of the children at Grantley Adams Memorial School, as it is at all schools across Barbados. She reiterated the ministry's support for the principal's decision to ban vendors from plying their trade outside of the school.
What I'm saying to people is, I think that parents and guardians, when they leave their children for many long hours of the day, they expect that adults will make adult decisions that are responsible and in the best interest of their children. They would not want us to make any other decision. I'm talking about education. Any other extraneous circumstance would certainly not be an education matter. Our matter always is the safety, the security, and the well-being of the children and the schools.
In other news now, the state-run Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation and the Barbados Workers Union have reached agreement on the retrenchment of staff. After more than 7 hours of negotiations that went late into the night, an exhausting-looking General Secretary of the union, Tony Moore, emerged from what has been described as some of the toughest talks to tell reporters that the framework for the layoffs has been concluded. Moore also revealed that the CBC has agreed not to send home all of the 116 workers originally selected and that the file numbers are yet to be made available to the BWU.
We now have to look at the names that the corporation would present to us, and once we've had an opportunity to examine, we will see where there are any challenges on the basis of the conditions that have been established at the level of the social partnership. And as we also indicated previously, we are committed to ensuring that this process is done in a manner that reduces the pain and frustration that so many are feeling, not only those who are anticipating that they would be leaving, but those who have to remain here on staff at the CBC.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Welcome back with news from the region now. Some 14 months after Barbados was devastated by Hurricane Irma, restoration work on the sister island of Antigua is now about 50% complete. That's the latest assessment of the National Office of Disaster Services Director Fillmore Mulling.
You're now getting into the actual rebuilding of homes that were destroyed. And then you add on top of that the complications of fixing homes that were rented.
Mullen comments that with rented homes, a few hiccups may arise.
And trying to get the owners to, if it's fixed by the government, to do some writing off of the rent or making those kind of arrangements, and those are not easy. And so it means that where we're entering in those agreements, preferably we'll prefer to have something in writing that we can hold the person accountable. But so far, good faith has prevailed.
He also speaks on the building standards of the new structures.
With respect to the building back better, I am comfortable that the efforts that have been made have been quite good.
And on the international scene, a gunman shot to death a doctor outside a Chicago hospital on Monday before bursting into the facility and killing a woman and a police officer during an exchange of gunfire and dying in the shooting. In other global news now, more than 1,000 people are still unaccounted for in California's deadliest wildfire ever. We hear more in this Reuters television report.
This was the monster mudslide that resulted in over 20 deaths in Southern California in January when a major rainstorm hit areas scorched by a wildfire last year. Now, with the state's deadliest and most destructive wildfire ever, the Camp Fire in the north and the Woolsey Fire in the south stripping forests of their vegetation and trees, authorities in California are keeping a cautious eye on the soil that those forests normally hold in place. The National Weather Service expects up to 4 inches of rain to fall north of San Francisco between Tuesday and Friday, and 2 inches in the south, raising the risk of dangerous mudslides in those areas. Emergency services stepped up their efforts on Monday to find the remains of the Camp Fire victims, as nearly 1,000 people are still unaccounted for. So far, the remains of 77 people have been recovered.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper email updates or like us on Facebook. And you can sign up for breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We are also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Now you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.